In this research, Dr. Jen Rubin and I were interested in learning more about how lesbian women and gay men perceive bisexual women and men. In doing so, we wanted to determine whether gender plays a role in people's perceptions of bisexuality. We were interested in two different concepts related to bisexual prejudice. Bisexual prejudice is the endorsement of negative attitudes and negative stereotypes about bisexual people because they are bisexual. The first concept we were interested in was perceived identity instability. Identity instability refers to the stereotype that bisexual people may have unstable identities, such that their identification with bisexuality can change. Related to identity instability, the second concept that motivated our research was something that we called the androcentric desire hypothesis. Androcentric means centered on men. Drawing on the idea that bisexual people will eventually choose a side of identifying as gay or lesbian or as heterosexual, we hypothesized that bisexual women may be perceived as being more attracted to men than to other women, and that bisexual men may be perceived as being more attracted to other men than they are to women. Ultimately, what this suggests is that bisexual people are always more attracted to men than they are to women. We conducted two studies with online participants who identified as lesbian and gay, and we asked them to report on their attitudes towards bisexual women and bisexual men. Given that LGBTQ people are not a homogenous group, we think it's very important to explore the dynamics and culture that exists within these diverse communities and spaces. We found that lesbian women perceived bisexual women to have greater identity instability than gay men did. And in another study we conducted, we found that lesbian women also perceived bisexual women to have greater identity instability than bisexual men. Results also revealed a pattern in support of the androcentric desire hypothesis. Androcentric desire, in fact, helped to explain why lesbian women felt less positively towards bisexual women than gay men did. Ultimately, we determined here that gender does play a very critical role in these dynamics and is a critical point of analysis. The relationship between bisexual identity and negative health risks is robust and well documented. Bisexual people in particular experience more negative health outcomes compared to their heterosexual, gay, and lesbian counterparts. What our research does is we help to examine why that might be the case by looking at the social dynamics and attitudes that bisexual people must navigate. In the future, more research is needed to understand the relationship between bisexual people and other members of the LGBTQ community. And we hope that future research will continue to look at mechanisms of bisexual prejudice. Why does bisexual prejudice persist? But also at solutions for this social issue, right? So how can we reduce bisexual prejudice, not just among heterosexual people, but also looking within LGBTQ communities?